They went in there on the premises that it was for sex trafficking underage minors.
A major developing story that's shaking up the music world. Federal authorities raided 2 properties owned by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs yesterday in connection with a possible sex trafficking investigation.
They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage in a sexual context. They're gonna go through all those devices. They did a Diddy. Take that. So if they was that dumb to put any videos or anything on any of those type of electronics, it's gonna come to the forefront. And a lot of different agencies can get involved just on going on there on the sex trafficking case. It's whatever they find in there, bro. They find drugs, goes to the DEA case. They find guns and stuff like that, that's ATF. They wanted to be gangsters. Lil Combs did, so now you're a gangster.
In a recent court hearing, Deal, a former bodyguard of music mogul Sean Diddy Combs, made serious allegations about the private parties allegedly hosted by Combs. Deal described these events as gatherings where illicit substances were used and infidelity reportedly took place. He implicated well-known figures from New York's political and entertainment circles, alleging that Diddy even recorded high-profile attendees in compromising situations. This testimony emerged as part of a larger federal investigation into Diddy's suspected involvement in trafficking and racketeering.
I don't give a F if Pac gotta die, Big gotta die, or Suge Knight go to jail. When he said that, that was a self-fulfilling prophecy.
I mean, he's the devil. If he did both of them, has him do both, he's fucking the devil, dude.
That's evil. That's evil.
Man.
Diddy is famous for hosting some of the most extravagant parties in the entertainment industry, known for their unmatched opulence and star-studded guest lists. These events often showcase spectacular live performances, lavish decor, and an atmosphere of pure luxury. Diddy's gatherings have become a hallmark of his brand, consistently setting the bar for high-profile celebrations. From his iconic white parties in the Hamptons to his grand New Year's Eve events, these gatherings epitomize glamour and unforgettable experiences.
There's really no deal that the U.S. Attorney's Office can offer, and it's certainly not one that Diddy will accept. It would involve decades in federal prison. We're talking about mandatory minimum sentences of 10 years for both the drug charges and the sex trafficking. So we know that Diddy has fought charges before. There were state charges, there were gun-related, the nightclub shooting with J-Lo, but he's going to dig in his heels, and this case is going to trial. So if you're prosecutors, you really want to make sure that your evidence is bulletproof before you go down that route.
However, numerous allegations have surfaced suggesting that Diddy's parties were far from innocent gatherings. Reports indicate that these events involve coercive behavior, strict physical requirements for attendees, and the use of substances to ensure compliance. Party organizers and attendees have described troubling practices such as mandatory weight checks and dress codes that required women to wear short dresses and high stilettos. Additionally, age verification was reportedly ignored, raising serious concerns about the safety and welfare of the women involved. In a resurfaced 2002 interview on Late Night with Conan O'Brien, Diddy made a controversial joke about locking women up at his parties. This clip has regained attention following his recent arrest on serious charges.
A lot of ladies drink water at parties. If you don't have what they need, they're gonna leave.
Right.
Gotta keep them there.
Right.
You need locks on the doors.
Okay, this is sounding kind of dangerous now.
It's a little kinky, but rock with me. But just check it out. You need a lot of heat. You don't have no air conditioning.
No air conditioning.
No.
Why is that?
Heat affects the alcohol, and it also affects everybody gets a little bit more comfortable and loose. Builds up a nice little sweat.
Deal has spoken out over the years about his experiences in alleged misconduct involving the hip-hop mogul. Deal, who primarily worked for Diddy in the 1990s, has been vocal in interviews and on podcasts, sharing what he claims to have witnessed during his time as a bodyguard. His accusations are not new. He has long asserted that Diddy's actions in the industry cross ethical lines. However, it was only recently that Deal testified in court as part of Diddy's ongoing legal battles. Deal has consistently portrayed Diddy as someone who operates with little regard for boundaries, alleging that the music executive possesses tapes and other material implicating high-profile individuals. He often states that he feels a responsibility to speak out, aiming to expose what he describes as the darker side of the entertainment industry. Deal suggests that Diddy's influence has shielded him from accountability until now.
You do believe that Diddy is going to prison?
Oh, he going to jail, bro. And I don't wish jail on nobody, for real. I don't wish jail on nobody. You understand? But they already got their star witness. And you only, for one charge, for the sex trafficking, you only need one witness. One witness. That's crazy.
While sharing disturbing details about Diddy's parties, Gene Deal recently addressed a viral photo of Aaliyah taken at one of these events. The image, which also includes other high-profile individuals, was snapped during a particularly wild gathering. Deal emphasized that this photo captured a moment of excess and debauchery typical of Diddy's parties, highlighting the intense pressures and expectations placed on young artists like Aaliyah.
You were showing that, but have you seen this photo that went viral on social media? It's a photo of Diddy, Aaliyah, Andre Harrell, Dame Dash, and Jennifer Lopez. Have you seen this?
Yeah, I seen it. I briefly looked at it while I was online. But I think that picture is from Bad Boy Weekend in the Hamptons. It was Bad Boy and Rockefeller Weekend in the Hamptons. You understand? It was, I remember Stacey Dash and Aaliyah, they was on Rockefeller team. You understand? And Bad Boy had their artists and stuff like that. And they were all playing softball up there in the Hamptons. And later on, Puff gave a white party, you know, at his house. He gave a party at his house, you know, the one he had in the Hamptons. And I was the one who was letting people in the front. I had the door in the front. So when people drive in, they come up in there, whatever like that.
He noted that these artists were often swept up in the high-stakes whirlwind of the entertainment industry, where the lines between professional and personal boundaries could blur dramatically. In an interview on the Art of Dialogue podcast, Gene Deal suggested that Diddy's interactions with young artists often involved inappropriate and manipulative behavior, which Diddy allegedly downplayed as horseplay. This characterization has sparked concern about the normalization of such behavior and its impact on vulnerable artists in the industry. Deal's comments have contributed to the growing scrutiny of Diddy's actions and the exploitative culture that can exist behind the scenes in entertainment. He emphasized the need for greater awareness and accountability to protect young artists from being taken advantage of by powerful figures like Diddy, calling for a shift in industry standards to prevent future harm.
We didn't call it grooming back then. That his horseplay was a way of letting you know I could really hurt you if I wanted to. You get it? I could really hurt you. And that's what that kid probably felt.
Deal claimed that Diddy exploited Usher when the singer was a teenager, exposing him to inappropriate encounters with older women under Diddy's supervision. Deal recounted an incident at the Swiss Hotel where Usher allegedly kissed a woman shortly after she engaged in questionable behavior with Diddy. He also referred to Usher's comments on Club Shay Shay, where Usher briefly mentioned his time at Diddy's Flavor Camp. According to Deal, however, Usher did not reveal the full extent of what transpired there. Deal believes that Usher withheld certain details, suggesting that Diddy's influence on him was manipulative and ultimately harmful.
Looking at this lawsuit, right, Lil Rod, he alleges that, Diddy told him personally that he had sex with Usher. And when you look at the lawsuit, even though they got Usher's name redacted, you could tell who it is because they describe him as the guy that performed at the Super Bowl.
Right.
So, I mean, we all know who that is, but how you feel about that, man?
Well, I mentioned that earlier, that he said about Stevie J. The Usher part, that's a touchy situation, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I had a certain feeling and I felt a certain way when Usher got on Shay Shay, and I don't mean to mention other people's platforms, but he got on Shay Shay and he mentioned how great and how good Puff taught him and everything. You know what I'm saying? About the business, right? I know, and people know, that was around that in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you.
In the same interview, Gene Deal made startling revelations about Diddy's Flavor Camp, describing it as a setting where young artists were allegedly subjected to coercive and manipulative behavior. He claimed that Diddy used the camp to exploit young talents, including Usher, by involving them in activities that were inappropriate for their age. Deal recounted specific incidents, such as one at the Swiss Hotel where Diddy reportedly engaged in inappropriate activities with women in Usher's presence. Deal emphasized that these experiences were part of a larger pattern of manipulation and control that Diddy allegedly used to keep influence over his proteges. Former attendees of Diddy's parties have shared that they are unsurprised by the recent allegations, noting that these gatherings often featured excessive behavior and activities that were unsettling. Some celebrities have even admitted that, in hindsight, the atmosphere at Diddy's events reflected the kind of misconduct now being brought to light.
Victims, because I understand the tremendous courage it takes to step forward. So if you're watching this, please hear me. If you're out there and you have been victimized, you are not alone. There is a great strength in numbers. You can seek redress. You can obtain justice. We can help you, and we will help you. That being said, as stated, we are vetting every call that we receive. We have had to turn away some. For each, we ask for corroboration. For each, we ask for the identity of witnesses. We also have collected pictures, videos, texts. We check venues, we check dates. We want to corroborate that the claims being made have legitimacy and merit. We have on staff now a former detective from the Major Offenders Unit of Houston Police Department who is helping us vet each claim. We're using our common sense. We're being stringent because, as I said, these are not easy cases. They're very tough. The process is hard, and in some cases, the process is very lengthy. These cases are hard to prove. Many times it's the victim's word against the alleged perpetrator. Each of these victims will no doubt be publicly attacked by the alleged perpetrators, and in some cases, the general public. The feckless and cowardly keyboard warriors love to attack. We know what we're up against. We did not enter this fray blindly. I wish it was my last such fray. I wish this type of hate behavior wasn't so pervasive.
A former attendee of Diddy's parties, whose identity has remained confidential, described these events as lavish and often lasting over 24 hours. He mentioned that Diddy would serve breakfast in the morning, and the festivities would continue with high energy. The man also noted that there were often private after parties within the main event, reserved for VIP guests and top celebrities. These accounts are supported by various videos of Diddy's parties, which have come under increasing scrutiny due to the alleged questionable activities taking place. In one clip that has drawn particular concern, Diddy is seen encouraging partygoers to get ready for the party and to lotion it up, a comment that has raised eyebrows in light of the ongoing allegations.
We be singing, the ladies be nice. Hey yo, everybody, make sure your breath is fresh. If you're on love, make sure you lotioned up. Here's a plug, you know what I'm saying? If you're smoking weed, get the Listerine strips. Please be respectful. Ladies, if they don't want to dance, don't let that hold you back, because this whole thing's about. Put that Darnell Jones, come on. Gang, 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 get to the dance floor. Yeah, love, love, love.
The video showing Diddy encouraging guests to lotion it up has taken on a darker significance, especially in light of reports that he allegedly had over 1,000 bottles of baby oil on hand at his parties. The sheer volume of the product has raised questions and led many to speculate about its potential use or purpose. However, John Deal has made even more serious allegations against Diddy, claiming that the items referred to by the authorities as 1,000 bottles of baby oil may not be baby oil at all, but something far more sinister. Deal has suggested that these shipments could be linked to illicit substance trafficking or other illegal activities. He further implied that the allegations against Diddy might point to a larger network of influential figures involved, including high-profile politicians and business leaders. This has fueled speculation that the scope of the investigation could reach beyond Diddy himself.
They went in there on the premises that it was for sex trafficking underage minors.
A major developing story that's shaking up the music world. Federal authorities raided 2 properties owned by music mogul Sean Diddy Combs yesterday in connection with a possible sex trafficking investigation.
They're looking for pictures of girls that may appear to be underage in a sexual context. They're gonna go through all those devices. They did a Diddy. Take that. So if they was that dumb to put any videos or anything on any of those type of electronics, it's gonna come to the forefront. And a lot of different agencies can get involved just on going on there on the sex trafficking case. It's whatever they find in there, bro. They find drugs, goes to the DEA case. They find guns and stuff like that, that's ATF. They wanted to be gangsters. Lil Combs did, so now you're a gangster.
According to Gene Deal, these accusations against Diddy are not confined to him alone, but point to a potentially expansive network of powerful individuals connected to him. Deal suggests that some of these figures may soon face scrutiny due to incriminating materials allegedly uncovered during recent investigations, which could reveal deeper involvement or complicity in illegal activities. Many people who attended Diddy's parties are now particularly concerned about the fallout from the serious charges against him, including racketeering and trafficking. There is growing anxiety among those who were part of his social circle or attended his events, as they fear their associations might come under scrutiny as the investigation expands.
Oh, he's bad boy now.
Signing the bad boy.
Here's your icon alert. It's called, Bad boy.
You got me a Lamborghini.
That's nice.
I haven't gotten it yet, though.
Yeah. When is that coming, that Lamborghini? We talked about this last
He
time.
had the Lamborghini for a day or two, and he had access to the house, and he knows better than to be talking about the things that he does with Big Brother Puff on national television.
McCain's comment suggests that anyone who attended Diddy's controversial parties lacks the moral standing to lecture her on political matters. Her statement appears to challenge the credibility and moral authority of those who participated in these gatherings, implying that their involvement in such events undermines their position to criticize others on important issues. Stephen A. Smith has also weighed in on Diddy's recent indictment, suggesting that it could be part of a larger federal effort to investigate potential systemic problems within the entertainment industry. Smith hinted that the focus may not be solely on Diddy, but could expand to expose other powerful figures who may have been complicit in or benefited from similar alleged misconduct. He drew comparisons to past high-profile cases, such as those involving Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein, and speculated that Diddy's arrest could serve as the catalyst for a broader investigation targeting influential people across Hollywood, hip-hop, and beyond.
Some of these stories, because I think it's important to point this out. When you highlight and you talk about some of the charges that have been leveled against him, and you see some of the stuff that's being said about him. Look at this right here. Former Danity Kane singer Aubrey O'Day writes, "I never thought I would see this day," she told TMZ. "We all buried this inside of us in order to be able to keep going. And not just me, but victims you don't even know yet. We're all processing what that type of vindication can actually feel like now. Every conversation I've had with victims last night has been beyond moving on all levels." That was Aubrey O'Day. You know 50 Cent was gonna make sure his voice was heard. Clowning P. Diddy. Taunting him, basically, because he's long taunted P. Diddy for years over the harrowing allegations against him. And what does he say here? This is yesterday, 50 Cent. "Here I am, keeping good company with the Drew Barrymore TV show. And I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube at the house." 50 Cent was referencing the over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and personal lubricants for the freak-offs that the indictment revealed were allegedly found during the raid of Diddy's homes in Los Angeles and Miami back in March.
Gene Deal has made several serious allegations regarding Diddy's interactions with law enforcement. He claims that Diddy has used his wealth and influence to delay arrests and investigations by providing financial incentives to law enforcement officials. Deal's statements often point to a broader pattern of Diddy leveraging his power to avoid legal repercussions. These claims were echoed in the recent indictment, where Diddy faces charges of bribery. In addition, Jaguar, a whistleblower, has reportedly shared a list of celebrities she believes should be investigated for their connections to Diddy. This list includes notable figures from the music and entertainment industries, suggesting that the culture of complicity and silence surrounding Diddy may extend far beyond him. In her interview with Piers Morgan, Jaguar made several explosive claims. She accused Jay-Z of being involved in satanic rituals alongside Diddy and connected him to controversial figures such as Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein. These allegations have added to the growing controversy surrounding the entertainment industry's power dynamics and the alleged misconduct its influential figures.
You must respond. You have no choice. Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter. This has been a fist of tyranny that has been punching through our culture and our society for decades. It must stop. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Piers.
Jaguar also described Jay-Z as worse than Diddy, alleging his involvement in disturbing actions related to young girls. She further claimed that Jay-Z is controlling Beyonce, keeping her like a prisoner in her own life. These statements have added fuel to ongoing controversies and intensified scrutiny around the couple, casting a shadow over their public personas and sparking further discussions about power dynamics in the entertainment industry.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim?
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about.
What do you think about these explosive allegations against Diddy? Share your thoughts below.